Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wise Exotics. I'm your host, Trevor, and today we'll be going over July end 2024 for the video log series. I do these logs to kind of review how my collection is developing and growing. A lot of it seems to be thriving pretty well. At this time, I only have kind of one thought, and I might be trimming off my Minima X Diabolica. So if you look over here, there's a leaf sticking out. That is that pot all the way up there. So it's just a nice vine at this point, and I'm thinking of topping it to try to start some basils, hopefully. But if I can top it and root the top, then I'll have a larger plant available for sale. I did update my sales sheet. I know I had some people asking. I did have a few plants going there, like Loei Veitchii crossed with Clipiata. That's a seed grown specimen. I had Gland Ulifera X Trismatiensis. A couple others like that. Just added a few of them to the sales sheet, but they're all doing pretty well. I just want to make some more room. Plants go out, plants come in type of thing is how my collection works. Let's see. At this time, the seedlings are all doing really great. I've even considered some of the larger ones selling now, so I might try an initial sale batch of those for at least the yellow parasum, brown parasum, crossed with Maraude Stripe X Candy Stripe. Only like 25 to 30 because they're so tiny, but that's kind of my initial thought process with those seedlings. The Ritz Barrio, even more of them germinated. And I'm thinking the ones that are currently active are the ones that we're going to just get. So about the majority of those did germinate, as there's only about 50 seeds, and I had 3 pots, and they're like 15 to 20 in each pot ish. So majority did germinate. They're actually really impressive growing already, and you might be wondering what I mean by that. Usually when they grow, there'll be 2 leaves at a time. A couple of them have 3 leaves at a time, and I was like, that's... I didn't start getting 3 leaves till even this month on the other Veitchii, so I was quite impressed that the Ritzit Barrio, just being freshly popped seedlings, already has 3 leaves. So a couple of those might be pretty vigorous. Now, I learned something interesting. My Raja Exima, which is a seed-grown plant, I got from Calcarn, or California Carnivores, for those of you not in the United States. Originally, that plant and all other Raja Exima seedlings that were seed-grown originate from Nepenthes. I did not know that. So Jay actually did post a big adult version, and mine is almost a 1-for-1 for that, except for mine has stripes, so yay on the striped version. But the body coloring is matching perfectly, so it's kind of a good idea of what it'll look like. So I'm kind of impressed, and I think it'll look really cool. I always like that hybrid just because at the end of its age of traps, they turn almost like bronze or brass, so it's this kind of like metallic full trap. It's really pretty, but you can actually see it. It's the specimen right there. Now, in this area, I've got a bunch of the Veitchii developing. KXM, Akazukin X Barrio, got like 2 pink traps at a time. Veitchii A, if you can see it, is right over here. I'll just go down. Veitchii A is developing a nice red trap, nice and squat already. Look at those little spots starting. Super excited to see. This will be the first trap for Veitchii A purely in my conditions, which will give me an idea of what it's liking or not liking. So Veitchii A tends to be slow, so that's its leaf size there, but it already got a big leaf jump on this side, so I'm pretty excited. There's the Raja X Aime. Now right here I'm impressed because that's Raja Beltata, our behemoth. The BE Grex, some people call it behemoth. That one gets black and red with stripes, so I tend to call that one specifically Dreadnought. It got vibrantly red. Sabianensis is doing quite well. Here you can see the Akazuka X Barrio, pinkish red, little red pink stripes. Veitchii KXK started to get different leaf type, and from what I learned talking to Mike, who I got that from, is the K will actually start off with kind of the same heart-shaped leaves a lot of Veitchii get, and then they develop these more wavy leaf style, which is similar to what I've got already on my KXM. Here's the KXM. Trying to figure out where KXK is hiding amongst all this. Ah, there it is. So, I don't know, maybe it's reverting back. So, it started to get the wavy leaf because I thought it was upset, but now it's got a nice leaf again. A nice jump too, so I don't know. That's weird. I know my Minimax Candy Dreams is doing really good. I am actually going to put its sibling, which is this one, up for sale. So, there's that. I mean, both are turning out really good, and I just prefer this one. So I don't need two of the same plant if they're going to grow the same, you know? Let's see. Oh, Veitchii B, the little one, had this enormous growth. Look at this. These are the leaf size before. It is literally 3 times as long, 3 times as wide. So yeah, it looks like it's developing another one there. Taffy's, well, doing taffy things. Here's the current trap on taffy. Now I'm hoping I can try to figure out why taffy went from a pink back to almost a tan body. But prior trap, current trap. Super Candy Dreams coloring and striping. So at least taffy gets the aging from Candy Dreams. Typically for the B series, they will age to a reddish or even a brown on some of them. They usually don't age to this yellow and red stripe pattern. That's something that Candy Dreams is known for. Some Veitchii do it, but not all. So I didn't know which way taffy was going to go until it started developing. So when this trap did it, I was pretty sure that was its aging. It basically, the parts that are kind of pinkish or in between the red will fade to yellow. So that's a neat little trait. Let's see, Raja X. Oh no, that's Raja Cross Lowei Veitchii Clone 1. This is a rare clone now because I guess they don't offer it anymore. And I picked this up from somebody who had a cutting. So Clipeta is doing fine, as you can see. It actually developing a nice new trap there. That's my larger Clipeta. This is a seed-grown specimen. Clipeta number 2 is on the exact opposite side. So I have taffy is in both Clipeta pots at the same time. Okay. Let's see, so this is a 4021 that has the dual leaf. It looks like, I thought I wasn't not going to get any growth development on the pictures, and it was just going to start pushing out because it is pushing out a new growth tip. But they started to turn upward, so maybe we'll see dual traps. Now, one of my newer buys that I'm actually really excited for, Burbigiae. And yes, I can finally say that right, I've been practicing. I don't know, I always thought Burb was an interesting specimen to look at. Didn't really want one, but this one was only 90, and it's fairly large, so nice leaf and nice developing node. New leaf over here, starting to already push out. So it seems quite happy. I didn't lose any traps at all. I did overfeed one, the smallest over there that's hiding in that pot, but this trap is doing quite well. Apparently, Burbigiae like to absorb zinc and iron at the same time. I think it's because there's more zinc in the soil where it's found in this one location. That's at least what the park rangers did from a soil comparison of the two spots. One was redder, one is more white. On the redder one, they found more zinc. Typically, to what I understand, after doing fun research and chatting with a lot of people, one of the factors for cold drops for Nepenthes and why it affects pigmentation so much is because at night, when the drop gets colder, they absorb more iron. And iron directly is what affects the coloration. Now, a good example of this is you see how faded green these are, and it's starting to get darker and darker. This is after I put that plant in Akadama. Akadama has more iron. So if you're wanting the plant to color up, let it get night drops, let it get a little cooler temperature, and give it more iron in its media. Now, Akadama isn't a lot of iron, but it's enough that it's a noticeable difference when planting it. Now, Kanema actually has more, as well as zinc and some other good minerals. Kanema is actually better in terms of what it offers, but it's more acidic. So it could be even more beneficial for plants that are from the Philippines or acidic soil type. So please keep that in mind. Now, all the plants seem to be doing fine over here. This one's finally making a trap after a while. Nice pink and speckled and striped. So that'll be a fun one to compare it to. Now let's go over to the tank setup. Oh, before I go to the tank, let us go look at Viking X-Raft number 2. So here it is. So yes, it's coming back quite fine. So this is the tank setup. I did overhaul this, so some of the plants were a little mad at me. Not much. Like this Palinensis gave me a small leaf. Didn't really see any others throw any tantrum other than that one Palinensis, but that striped one's been kind of like that since I've got it. It did not like the open air, it likes more humidity. Anyway, so what I did down here is on the bottom layer is a rubber mat with grooves, and then I put a wick mat, and then I put eggshell crate, and then I put wick mat and eggshell crate to create a water kind of transfer system underneath all the plants, so it goes from one side to the other. I was having a problem where this was overfilling, which means either the tank or the stand itself is not leveled, and I didn't want to figure out leveling. So using the wicking mats to push the humidity and moisture underneath evenly, it keeps everything humid and wet. So I don't have to worry about the plants sitting in the root, or the roots of the plants sitting in the water and getting root rot. But all of them are doing quite well. Sumatrina is doing quite nice over here, getting kind of a pinkish color since I moved it. It finally is dropping that larger tendril and leaf, so I'll get to see that. Palinensis are fine. I got a few more Veitchii. So one of them was the Veitchii D, which is a pure berry Grex. Red Leaf Exotics 3490. That's nice. So I have A, B, and D. I do not have a C, and I do not have E. I would like an E. C, I'm kind of on the fence for. Got a bunch of them. Let's see. I got Veitchii Maraud, Candy X Best Clone, crossed with Akazuki and X Barrio. That one's doing well. This one I was really impressed with. So both this one and that one are siblings. These are K X Candy, Striped X Candy. Both of them are getting kind of an orange color. This one already has wing speckles and quite a lot of striping. So this one's doing really nice. These are some of the Veitchii I got from Mike. These are the Big Mom X Pink Candy Cane, crossed with Akazuki and X Barrio. Nice red on that one already. And that one's the jewel of the three I got. In a weird, fun twist of fate, I got the sibling of that one, which is Pink Cross Barrio number 2. This one's already red, and this one already had stripes on its last trap, so doing quite well. This one I got from Samantha, and its sibling I got from Mike. So both of those are available from them if anybody is looking for that cross. Let's see. So this one was a fun thing. I had, if you recall, I had a mix-up with Carnivero where they sent me a truncata, which is actually right over here. It's got a nice leaf jump and doing quite well. The mystery truncata, or truncata mystery. Don't know what it is yet. When I got that, I had asked Mike for a reference. Now, Mike had pulled some plants out that were in seedling pods and was showing me leaf type for comparison at the time. So, fun story, when he put it back, he put it in with this Grex's slot for some reason. He said he must have just did it by accident. And when I chose my 3 that I wanted, which are these 3, I circled them on ones he had available, and I somehow picked one that was of the wrong type. And he goes, so in effect, you caused the very chaos for this plant to get there, and you're the reason it was there. So, hey, at least ironically, it went to you. And I went, yeah, I'll take that. That's a fun story. I somehow butterfly effect caused this plant to hop into my tray. Let's see, I was really impressed with this. Hose Mountain X Barrio. Nice solid stripes already here. You can see some perfect striping of this specimen. So I'm really nice to see that. Sericea is getting kind of reddish purple. Let's see if I can get a trap here. Kind of bright lipped. This is a individual seedling clone. So that's nice. Let's see. This is a seed-grown Aime, already threw its first trap for me, and it's ready on its new growth tip. So there's that. This is Nepenthes aristolocoides. This is my first attempt to have a seed-grown one. It already has its first leaf with me, and it looks to be developing fine. The macros, look at 1998-23. Look at that jump it's got on trap. I remember it was the same size as Phoenix here. Now, this is how you tell a younger one versus a basal off of an older one. So you see the macros like to do perfect rosettes when they reach a certain size. This one was already about that size when I had to chop it off. So it's coming back. So yay Phoenix, or the macro G as some of you call it. I find the nicknames funny that thing's getting. As you can see, this one's just starting to figure out how to do the rosettes, but it's getting leaf jumps. I'm pretty impressed with that. My Velosa actually got 2 nice leaf jumps. It's quite impressive. Edward Sienna, you're in for a treat. Look at that fresh pop. Nice and toothy. I quite like my Eddie. I mean, I got it by happen chance from a guy in Walnut Creek, so I can't complain. It's doing quite well. I made an offer for it, and yeah, that's why I have it still here. Diabolica, I'm not sure if it was mad at me, but the trap that's there looks like it twisted the top half of the trap to look toward the light. That's kind of weird. But look at that leaf, perfect leaf on that Diabolica. Got a nice developing node there, another one on the other side. For some reason, it's trying to put that within the lid. Let's just tuck it down there. That makes me feel better. Velosa Hamada. I saw a large specimen of this. And it was actually, I think one of my subs had shared it, and I was like, wow, that looks awesome. Got to talk to Jeremiah Harris about this one. So this is my Naga. Quite interesting. Something I did not learn, and when I was feeling under the lid the one time I felt this little spike, I was like, wow, there's like a prick or something there. It's a type of a ling right under there. All Nagas have it. Random fact, I learned that by accident when poking it with my finger. But nice thing to learn. And I mean, so this one, which is the Macro G, and this one are both from Jeremiah Harris. This was from the one time he, I guess, sold it on the Carnivorous Plant Resource. Somebody bought it, couldn't handle it, and I ended up getting it because they did not have the conditions to grow it. And I was already growing Hamadas and whatnot. I said, sure. I had the Hamada 2-in-1 at that time, I believe. I thought, you know, I should be able to handle it. Speaking of Hamadas, both of them got a nice leaf jump in here. This one's got a nice trap developing way down here. It's my first large leaf on these two. Hamada 1 is no longer in my collection. It is actually over at Bailey's Carnivorous Plant Takeover over on Instagram. So he's got that if you ever want to check it out and see how it's doing. He's actually got a lot of Hamadas. A lot of fun plants. Though, keep that in mind. The weirdo unicorn plant hybrid, whatever you want to call it, doing quite well. It developed that new trap. The aeroids that I got from Plant Doc DMD are doing quite fine down there. I have this pink one in here because I was hoping it would do better in here. I'm trying to root run and water, and I'm rooting the other soil in the higher humidity to see if there's a difference. Not at this time, but it's kind of fun to see what's going on. As you can see, the bunks are doing quite well, and there's a fern growing in number 3 for whatever reason. Number 3 has a basil still. I really am liking how this one's coming along. So I repotted this because it's been driving me nuts that the moss kept drying it out. So I wanted to repot it. This is from Greenwood Exotics. It's one of their seed-grown plants, and oh man, that naming. Spectabulas truncata bachiana, Maxima mira, cross truncata loi. Say that 5 times as fast. I'm not as fast as Dominic from Red Leaf Exotics, but anyway. This is another fun one that I'm enjoying. Truncata campulata, Vicia, the way of Sangamalfe. Oh man, it's head campulata. I thought I did not have anything in campulata. You learn something new every time you even check out your own tank. Wow, that did not open until today. Look at that leaf jump on that. So this is one of my Robert Cantley. This is actually the younger one, believe it or not. Or these two are of the same Grex. This was one that never sold, so the guy offered it to me, so I bought it. It was only like $30, or not even that. This is my original Rob Caroline, nice and dark, doing well. It's this. These two are siblings, and then we got the Neb, who does Neb things. Now, the Nebularum are really weird in that they will curl their traps under their leaves and do this kind of netting where they it's kind of like what this does, spider wicks them down under. Because of how big the leaves are, they actually shield their own traps. I'm not really sure of the evolutionary trait or benefit of that, but definitely is intriguing. I might be switching these two Robs around. So look how the new trap is developing with the Hamada photobombing in with that. Yeah, photobombing in with that, huh, Hummer? So of the Ritzite spar, you can see all the little green seedlings are doing quite well. Getting some larger ones in here. I might be tempted to start selling some of these little tiny seedlings. And if you're wondering how in the heck I'm going to sell, I'm going to put them in one of these. I talked to Jeremiah Harris and another seller, and they both say what they do with their seedlings that are this small is they will put them in moss, tuck them in these, and then cover this in moss and ship this in a box or in an envelope. And they're fairly hardy, and because they're a dense plastic, I'm trying to, yeah, they just flex and come back. So the plant in the middle stays fairly safe. So I might try to do that. You can do an initial wave of that. Again, on Instagram. So these are the yellow parasome crossed with brown parasome that was crossed with Murad striped, crossed candy striped. So there are at least 4 different Grexes of VGI crossed into these. And the last of this, which these go by the JF001 or John Fernando or John Carnivore first Grex. I've seen bright reds and stripes on at least 5 of the siblings he's got in his collection, as well as some others. So they have some good traits, and I've been pretty impressed with them. I've been pretty impressed with these because some of these already have, usually they'll have 2 leaves. Some of these already have 3 leaves. That's a lot of vigor I was not expecting on the Ritz X Barrio. For the K X Barrio that had necrosis, look at the nice leaf jump, some intense frames, but look how red that got. I'm not sure if that's it just burning out or what, but it has a lot of striping on the inner lip, so I'm looking forward to this one developing. Its sibling is, again, with my friend now, so I just have this one. And they're all doing pretty well. No other issues. I have 3 other VGI coming. One is a large specimen. That's kind of the only bad news is basically I won an auction at Carnivoro. Yay. It took a week to get to me because of that whole IT downage and other stuff affecting the world's computer infrastructure and whatnot. So that one got delayed for about a week in a warehouse. So I was really worried about it. And then the day before it arrived, Carnivoro emailed me stating, hey, we're pretty sure we sent you the wrong plant for that auction win. So we're making a return label so you can send that back. And I'm like, how do you know? They're like, well, because your plant's sitting on a shelf here. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So it never shipped. Cool. I was stressing out for no reason. So I got their plant. It was some weird platy crossed with VGI and Rob or something. There was no tag or anything, so I made sure their plant was okay. I retaped it up, put some of my fun stickers that say live plant, please handle with care on it. Sent that back. They didn't get that till Friday, and now they messaged me saying they received it and they're going to send out the correct plant, hopefully. And I had another order, so they stuck the other plant order in there. I noticed they didn't give me the shipping back on that one since they're just combining it, but whatever. So hopefully next update I will have the new larger VGI to show everybody. I was quite looking forward to it, so there is that. I have 2 smaller VGI coming in. One is coming in with the larger one, and one is coming from another source, but it's another Carnivoro cross with Candy Dreams. It's an Orange X Candy Dreams, so we'll see how that progresses. I think I'll call it Orange Candy if it progresses well enough. But other than that, hope everybody's doing well. Questions, comments, concerns, whatnot, throw them in chat. Need help with your own plans or with your setup, or you're interested in sales, hit me on Instagram, Wise Exotic, one word. So there are 2 E's. So wise and then exotic. No space. Anywho, that'll be all. Best regards and see you next month. Trevor out.